The internet has revolutionized travel. Booking a trip online is easy and it's convenient, but if your dream vacation turns into a nightmare, as it recently did, unfortunately, for thousands of passengers on the Costa Concordia, internet travel sites won't have your back, and that is really the bottom line. Michael Miller is president of Rio Grand Travel Centers and joins us this morning. Hi, Michael.
Hi, good to be here.
Great to have you. As I said to you, traveling is a really big deal, and especially coming from a small airport like here in Albuquerque, we have to really get great deals because most of our flights, especially if we're traveling far, are connections. So, a lot of us do turn to the internet. How has that changed travel and bookings?
Well, the internet's changed travel, tremendously. Certainly, business to business communications is much more efficient. But for the Concordia, many of those passengers, they sat there for days.
Yes.
Had they not had a travel agent, it was up to the cruise line or the airlines. You had to call the airlines. It could take forever. We actually had a couple from Albuquerque on that ship.
That's right. That's right.
Not our agency, but another one. And they called the agency and they got them home very timely. We have access to all of the airlines, hotels, cars, of course. So.
Yes. And
one call.
Well, when there's, God forbid, a tragedy, unfortunately, everybody runs to the phone, everybody runs to the customer services and the crew and everybody else, and it's madness and chaotic. And so, we don't know that disaster is going to strike, obviously. So as a travel agent, as you're saying, I guess you really can help people out. So tell us a little bit about how you would help a client get home after a disaster like what happened on that cruise ship.
Well, obviously they would call us.
Okay.
In some cases email. And then we're going to immediately, start looking at the airlines to see if we can get them home that day.
Okay.
And if not, because, this happened, late at night.
Sure.
I believe around 10 o'clock.
Right.
So we're going to look for a hotel for them to stay at for the evening.
So then does this mean that you're accessible even beyond the general office hours?
If you have a great travel agent, you're going to be able to get a hold of them. If you have a good relationship, long-term relationship with us, in many cases you'll have our home phone number.
That's wonderful.
But we also have, an after-hours service that we offer.
That's so comforting. That is so comforting. So,
serenity in travel.
See, we love to hear that. And so obviously a lot of added value by having a travel agent. What are some of the other ways that a travel agent adds value to the trip?
Well, our part of the travel industry is service.
Yes.
So we're going to be from the inception of your trip to the time you get home.
That's great.
So, when you have trip interruptions, such as, you probably remember the volcano a few years ago. We had, hundreds of customers out, both business and leisure.
Yeah.
They called us. We were able to get them home. In that case, we were able to get everyone home or to their destination without incident.
See, and isn't that a wonderful testament to what you do? So now I have to address the concern that a lot of people are thinking now, does working with a travel agent bump up the cost?
Well, some agencies will charge fees, so a small consulting fee, but where we add value is, we're going to get you a room upgrade if you're, a good agency. You have a lot of volume. We're going to sit down with you and show you. You may spend $2,500 a person on a trip, but if the trip is a miserable trip,
it's not worth a penny.
It's not worth a penny.
Exactly.
So that's where our expertise comes in. Yeah. We're going to show you the value. The trip. You maybe you want to take a cruise, and you've looked at Carnival Cruise Lines, but you're just a couple without kids.
Yes.
You're not going to know that. You saw that price.
Yes.
And it's only $500 a person, but you're going to be inundated with kids on that cruise. So you want to sit down with a good travel agent and talk about what you want out of that trip.
Great point. So you really can customize the right trip for each individual person.
Right.
I love to hear that. So now, how would somebody decide how to choose their travel agent? What's the best way?
Just like your financial planner or your car mechanic, you ask friends and family. But I would say, the most effective way is come in, sit down with us, talk about, our expertise, talk about where we've been, ask about our volume, ask about our fees. If we are going to charge a fee, ask what you're going to get out of that.
Yeah, do your research, right?
Get to know us. We love long-term relationships.
Yeah.
So once we get to know you, we know your likes and your dislikes.
That's great.
So it's important to, just like you have to be able to trust us.
Absolutely, and it's important, and especially when you do a lot of traveling. I'll tell you what, I've had a lot of nightmare trips, and to me, I'd rather sacrifice financial situations in other areas and have a convenient trip, because there's nothing more aggravating than a travel disaster. It is the worst.
Yeah.
And when you have a travel agent to depend on to help you through it, it makes all the difference in the world.
That's right, and we'll be there for you.
Yes, and we love to hear that. So let's tell our viewers how they can contact you.
Well, we're in Farmington, Los Alamos, and Albuquerque, of course, but you can log on to rgtravel.com or call 292-7044 for one of our offices near you.
Fantastic. I think I'll be doing that. I think I'll be doing that very, very soon.
We look forward to it.
I like that. Thank you so much, Michael. We appreciate your information.
Great to be here.
And we're not done yet. Love is in the air at Bishop's Lodge Ranch Resort and Spa.